continue to kind of see LA's production change and go to the bench and all that kind of stuff, I wanted to bring up the question. So we have seen Lyles take a step forward. We have obviously seen Luka take some steps forward in the past couple weeks as well. So these are I would say Luka more of a step forward than Lyles, but either way, uh, um, we all talked about very casually about having Lyles in our starting lineups at the beginning of the year and talking about him being a rotational piece and a contributing piece. So, uh, um, you know, can Lyles and Luka, can a combination of those two, can they equal the production that we're afraid of losing with having LA, moving forward? Like that's the question, right? So,
Right. Sheesh.
obviously we never try to diminish him when we say about moving him around because we know what he can bring, but we also know a lot of the things that we've been getting exposed for this year, more specifically maybe on the defensive end. So what do you guys think? Would you like to see us pushing for Lyles and Luka more, or do you think that could still give us enough where we're staying where we're at, or maybe even going better, or do you see us taking a huge dip? Where you guys stand on that?
Go ahead, Jake. I'll let you go first.
Ugh.
Or if
So
you want me to, I'll go.
I got you. I got you. I got you.
Alright.
I'll go first. So it's it's a double-edged sword for me because I feel like they could both equal it, like you combine them both, whatever, and yeah, it equals LA's production on the offensive end. But well, and it's just like because both of them, I don't know. I don't know what I would say in terms of them defensively. Luka has been killer on that on that perimeter, and I feel like he's been solid. He's not he's not a pushover when it comes to him guarding somebody, but I don't see him guarding a center. And Trey, while I could see him guarding a center, that's a small ball lineup. That's a small lineup that we'd be running if he's out there at the five. And
Yeah.
so it's like, we'd be running, and we'd be running like who would we be running at the five? We'd have to start giving Drew Eubanks rotational minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, not 20 minutes, but like 15 to 17 minutes a game, just because we traded LA and we don't have a big out there, you know?
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
that's my only thing, is that yeah, I see Lyles and Luka being able to equal LA's production, but at the same time, it's the positions, it's the positional uh emptiness that we'd be having there, because for me, Lyles and Luka fit in the forward where Rudy is and not where LA is,
yeah, but
whereas LA is
but
more.
haven't we seen even Rudy run a five this
Yes.
year? You know
And
what I
we've
mean?
seen
Yeah,
him
but,
guard
but
fives.
at the same time, that's still something that it can work. It can work, but I don't know if it'll work 100% of the time. That's
Yeah,
a very
I mean,
situational thing for me, and
that
I
is
don't
true.
know.
That is true. But situationally speaking, we would have Jakob as our five. You know what I mean?
But we
Uh,
can't run Jakob at the five all the time. Like,
well,
it's
yeah,
like
yes, I know,
somebody's got to take up those backup minutes, and Trey, Luca, and Rudy, I don't think would be able to
so let me
consistently take up
throw
that
this
backup five.
let me throw this out to you, and then we'll go to Josh. Like, what if? And I'm not even really talking about LA being traded. What if LA was our backup center, and and what I'm saying is you have Jakob out there running the five for the starting lineup, but now you just kind of have like an amalgamation of Lyles is in there. Lyles is our starting four. But you have Luka as like the plug-in man for a four or for a three. Really he could be either one. You know what I mean? Like what if we did that, and now LA becomes our center for the bench? You know what I mean? I don't know. What
And
do you think?
at that point, it just becomes a minutes kind of thing, because it's like, yeah, we could have Luca be that plug-in man, but where are we finding those minutes from? Because Rudy's
Well,
gonna eventually come
I'm
back.
Yeah,
You know,
true. And so I guess I'm just trying to think like in my head. I mean, in my head, if LA is still going to be inconsistent, more specifically with his health than anything,
Mhm.
in and out of the lineup, then we are going to have to find. I would say that's where the minutes come from. You know what I mean? If nobody's going to give us anything, if they're going to be lowballing us for trades for LA, then I would much rather I would much rather have him as a backup center in a diminished role and have him work for whatever contract he's going to get on any other team next year than to try to trade him for a batch of seconds or something like that. Like that isn't that's not worth it to me. I feel like we're young enough. We have enough. We already have enough assets. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna be and we we're gonna get another one next year going into the draft or whatever. So I don't know, like that's just kind of where I stand. I feel like we could. I mean, I feel like we would probably take a hit in some aspects, and even people want to hate, but even in like the last couple games, how many stretches did you have where, let's say we had an LA in there running against those bench units? We didn't have LA there against the OKC the second time to post up against Roby and take advantage of that young small lineup. You know what I mean? So I think that he could find he still could find a career on our bench or a career on somebody's bench moving forward. But for the rest of this season, I feel like he could still be very successful. So I'm thinking more just like, could we whatever potential loss we're going to have of having him as our starter, could we still get at least that much with maybe a combination, and maybe we throw Rudy in there too, Lyles, Luka, Rudy, all kind of filling in, to try to spell that production we're going to get from him. Josh, I mean, I don't know, did you have anything else to add?
Not really. Like, but I feel like it's simple. It's just like yes, just straight up yes around everything. I mean, Jake said it. Jake said, "Oh, Luka's not a pushover on the defensive end, on the perimeter." And you seen guys try to back him down. Like you see Zion try to push him around, and it didn't like.
He did get bullied a couple times.
He played. I mean, it's gonna happen. Like it's just experience. Like everybody's gonna get taken advantage of in some way or another when you're out there. But like, I would never say that about LaMarcus Aldridge. As far as like, oh, you see him out there playing defense on the perimeter? No, because his ass is getting blown right by. But, and
But-
just the way Jake said that right there, I'm just like, well, it's like apparent. Like if we have guys, because like just like you were saying, Chris, like we're gonna find, like, we don't necessarily have to trade him, but like I do think he could take like all his minutes, like make him like really really minimal, as a backup, those times when, and I know it kind of sucks because Yak's always in foul trouble, so maybe he'll play all the time, who knows. But like,
yeah,
I think that we could,
that's another reason to keep him, is because Yak still isn't a reliable 100%.
he's always in foul trouble, right?
Yeah, so
like,
if you can
like
have
Jake was
him,
saying, things that he kind of does sometimes with his little legs, his little screens or whatever. But like, yeah, dude, I think Lyles and Luka could easily take LaMarcus Aldridge's role, his production, and make it better for us. And it sucks to say, because when you think of LaMarcus Aldridge, right, you just think of the old, like you think of what he used to do, but he's just not that guy anymore. So I hate to like down him all the time, but it's just like moving forward, we have the guys that are going to be next, right? So we have to go with these guys, and we can't just ride out with LA. Like we cannot, for our organization, we cannot. And I think that, would I try to move him? Yeah, but like you said, I don't want to get him for nobody. Like you said, I don't think we need a couple of 6th-round picks. Like right now, I do not believe we need that. If we could trade him for like a younger guy, like I think I would go after it. Somebody athletic to a contender that just needs a big man. Like maybe we do that, but
yeah,
I don't know what the trade packages look like out there.
I
I don't
see.
know if anybody's calling us, but
I definitely
we'll see.
see his value at around being like the trade that Derrick Rose got traded for in Detroit. He got traded for
What was
Dennis
that?
Smith and a second
Oh,
round pick, and so it's like
so a young
I
guy
see.
and another second. Think so?
Yeah, I see that as like probably the most realistic trade that I could think of for LA. You know what I mean?
okay,
And it's either
and moving.
that
Oh, go ahead,
or
go ahead.
a more expensive player, somebody that's going to be on our books for longer, whatever.
Hey,
And
hey, what do y'all think about Larry Nance? I like that guy.
Is he on the buyout, or where's
No,
he at?
no,
he's just
he's in
he's looking
Cleveland.
to get traded in Cleveland. But if Cleveland buys out like Drummond, right? Say Drummond leaves, then that's a lot of free money for them next year. And then they get LA, which will clear up more money for them next year. And they still
Yeah.
have Jared Allen. So they're trying to move Larry Nance with their young guards, and then Jared
But
Allen with a lot of
Larry
money.
Nance is another 6'8" guy who's like, I mean, yeah, he can. I out of all the names that we have literally just stated, I feel like he's obviously other than Yak, right? But he's definitely a guy who can hold his own in the paint, but
Hmm.
he's still a 6'8" big.
I
That's
feel like
smaller
he gives
smaller
us that
than
guy.
smaller than other 6'8" bigs like Bam and even like I've mentioned Precious before, Precious Achua from the Heat. Um, like
Always with the heat with you.
he's still he's still smaller than those kind of guys, even if he is
But
6'8".
yeah, but talking about contracts, so he's only owed 11 million this year, 10 million next year, and 9 million the year after that.
That's a deal. That's a steal to me.
And so
That's
you'd have him on your books for the next 2 years at 10 and 9. That's like right around the amount of money that you're paying like a Rudy Gay. You know, so I don't know,
I just think
I would want to
that's a big
trade
man
for
that could
for a little
that's a
bit more
big man that
size.
could
That's
run.
my
That's a big man
problem.
that could run with us. Like we could plug him in at the 4 and he'll run
Yeah,
with us. Like
but
yeah.
and then he's the guy that that we could throw lobs to that or we set some back screens for him. And honestly, I don't know what Larry is as a shooter. Like I don't think I've watched him enough to like know if he could even step out or not. But I just know
I
that
can tell.
he's he'll boom on you, and I'll take that.
Well, yeah, you're right, and I mean, I would like that too, but I feel like I just need if I'm trading my 6'10" center, 6'11" center, I don't want to get smaller when our team is already not as in the
Well,
big
I mean,
man department. It's already
we
not as
haven't
big.
had LaMarcus Aldridge a good chunk of the season, so I think we could see that we could play and win without him. So when you're talking about you don't want to give up the size for somebody, I mean, we've already been without the size, and we haven't, and he's still on our books. He's still with us, and we're always without him. You know what I
Well,
mean?
look at that. Like I mean, I feel like you look at the Brooklyn game, and I mean,
I
look at
mean,
what they were doing in the inside
we
because
had a
Yak
chance.
was the only but Yak was the only big man out there. Like they just had. I mean, obviously DeAndre Jordan is a huge shell of what he used to be,
Hmm.
but both him and Nick Claxton were they
But
both had
just
their
watch.
way at points. They
Yeah,
both
but
had their way
if
at points.
there's no there, I don't think you could tell me a handful of times where they threw the ball down low and they just let him work. All
It
those
doesn't.
are
Well,
just coming
But
off James
n-
Harden. It's all
but
yeah,
James
but
Harden.
it's still the fact that they were able to have opportunities because we didn't have all
yeah,
that size inside.
and I don't know if you guys noticed this, but they played DeAndre Jordan the entire first quarter. So Yak was out there the entire Yak was even out there the full quarter. I don't think, but I'd have to go back and watch. But they played DeAndre Jordan the whole first. So then when Claxton came out and Yak, you know what I mean, like it just over the course of 48 minutes, it wore us down. So I get what Jake is saying, and like we want to have the bodies there, for the grind of the game. But I mean, if LA's not a 7-footer, and so neither is Nance. Nance is just what Nance maybe could lack in size, height wise, he would make up in mobility. He probably is still young enough to work on his strength and be a strong presence. You know what I mean, and try to be maybe more dense. So I mean, I could see that. Josh, to answer your question though, earlier, his 3-point percentage is garbage.
No, is it? Well,
Yeah.
I mean that's okay. That's okay for like a big
his
man. I'm not.
his 3 points garbage. His free throws aren't. Well, I mean, his free throws, like he pushed into the 70% a couple times, but
Oh, that's perfect then.
so
It's
but he's a career 33% from the 3-point line. Um,
yeah, that's
yeah.
one. That's one. It's one every three. It's all
But
right.
I mean, that's right. Like I mean, I don't know. I feel like if we're gonna trade LaMarcus, and we already know that we have his production, like we literally have that card up there that says that like can Lyles and Luca equal his production moving forward on the offensive end. I mean, like you said it yourself that you think that we could do that, and so I mean,
Yeah.
like if
Yeah.
that
So
means that
so
we
so,
already
so
have,
imagine
if
so
that means
imagine
that
if
we
we
already have
spell.
those things. Imagine if we already had that offensive production, then we just trade LA to get somebody that can help us on the defensive side and add more to that, kind of
Yeah,
Right.
but
make it a little
And
that's
it's
balance.
that's kind of hard because I would hate to. I don't know. Whenever you throw those guys out there that I know are just like we're playing a 4-on-5 on the offensive end of the court, like I don't like that. I do not like that. Like
Well, but
you have to have a
look at
little
what
mix.
Jakob does. Look at what Jakob does out there on the court. Jakob isn't exactly like he's
yeah,
not a
yeah, but
scorer. He's not
yeah,
an
but
outside shooter.
are you getting a guy who's as good as Jakob Pertl? in a
Well,
trade.
I mean,
In a trade.
obviously, I don't know. I don't know what the market looks like and who would be interested in LaMarcus. But if we get, if we get somebody that we know can at least work a little bit into our system, you don't need to be the greatest center of all time to have the ball in your hands at the top of the key and put the ball down once or twice just to lay it off and get a screen and roll. It's not like you know
Yeah. Well,
our
maybe
our
maybe
system
maybe
our
maybe
system
maybe
for our
Nance
big
can
men.
maybe Nance could be at least at the very bare minimum something like that. I mean,
I think
uh
that he could do that. I think that
Our
he has enough
system
post moves
our
to.
system for
yeah.
our big men that don't shoot and stuff like that, it does not look like it's a complex system. You know what I mean? Something that's like something that you really need to be niche for. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
In a
well,
sense,
okay. So seeing what you're saying, you don't need to be niche. Well, I think that Nance is very non-niche. He does a lot of little things decently enough. You know what I mean? So
but
if you can get a guy like that for an LA, I mean, I don't know, maybe let's so Josh was saying maybe this is a topic for like a later. So we are going to be approaching the trade deadline, obviously. So
Mhm.
maybe we can shoot for like next week or the week after. Oh no, because well, the week after will be the 21st of March, so that'll be just a
That'll
few
be right
days
before.
before.
Eh,
So
And that's if right. That's the deadline, so they could get moved
before
this
then,
week. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
yeah,
So maybe we'll shoot for next week or the 21st. And let's. I know we had kind of talked. We had kind of talked about doing this maybe for this week, but I think we're still a good 2 weeks out. Maybe next week we really sit down and we say, okay, let's see how can we maybe unfortunately maybe LA's the subject of our
yeah.
experiment next
I was
week,
gonna
and we
say that
see.
because we text right. We text and y'all said, all right, well let's just throw some trade packages for these players. I'm like, hell no, I
Yeah,
don't
I don't
want
want
to trade
I don't
nobody.
want to I
If
don't
we're
want to
gonna
trade
talk
anybody
about,
else.
yeah, I'll be boring during that segment because I'm only talking about LaMarcus.
Yeah, I would say the same. So maybe we try to make the Spurs better by trading LA next week, and we see what
who
we can
Oh,
come
knows?
up with.
but you know what? I
Maybe
wouldn't mind doing Rudy right and sending him to like a contender if
who
we could get
who
something
knows?
because we do have
Maybe
Luka and Trey.
maybe I surprise y'all with like some type of trade that's just like, oh, that's not
Maybe.
a bad deal, Jake.
Yeah, I'll trade.